them, let it still come down.
Good news as prices of food items gradually slide in some states.
The mandate and restructuring of the Ministry of Finance Incorporated MOFI represents a new chapter focused on harnessing our public wealth more strategically for growth and optimization.
Federal government initiates more avenues to tackle economic challenges. Plus, Foreign Exchange Market Office of the National Security Advisor and Central Bank collaborate to checkmate sharp practices. Hello and welcome to the Network News. I am Olajide Bello and Musa Abubakar is on standby for business news. Remember, you can watch this broadcast live on our website nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen. Now, a few weeks ago, the nation was awash with complaints on high cost of living. This made President Tinubu to direct the release of 42,000 metric tons of assorted grains from the federal government reserve to be disbursed to vulnerable across the country at no cost. The federal government also entered an agreement with Rice Farmers Association for release of 60,000 metric tons of rice, but to be paid for. An emergency meeting was held with state governors to tackle the challenge in their various states, particularly hoarding and arbitrary increase in prices of commodities. The good news is that these efforts have started yielding results in some states as the cost of foodstuff are gradually coming down, as monitored by our correspondent. Our first stop is Dawanau International Grain Market, Kano, with Yahanasu Hassan Barrow as our guide.
This is Dawanau, the largest grain market in Africa. Every day is a market day here, with people trooping in to purchase grains both from within and outside the country. Maimuna Ali travels hundreds of kilometers from Onitsha in Anambra State to purchase grains.
I buy it here down to Onitsha. I want to sell it in Onitsha.
It come down very small, very small. So we are begging them, let it still come down.
Just like Maimuna, Baba Muhammad Dambata, who has been in the market for more than 3 decades, said prices have slightly dropped, but transaction is less due to low patronage. Market forces are what leads to the decline, which the management pledged to continue to apply through its members who go out to buy from the farmers.
Reducing the number of people that are going and bringing this will definitely make the demand to be low. And if the demand in the bush is very low, definitely the price over there will come down. A
bag of maize, which sold at 58,000 naira last week, now sells at 48,000 to 50,000 naira, while cowpeas, which was 94,000 naira, is now 84,000 naira. NTA News observed that the prices of bag of each of the major grains witnessed a decline of 8,000 to 10,000 naira. With the commencement of Ramadan in few weeks to come, people's expectation is for government to strategize to ensure price control. In Kano, Yohannes Hassan Barrow, NTA News.
The story is not different in most grain markets in Kebbi State, attributing it to federal government's intervention to ban illegal exportation of food from borders in Kebbi and Sokoto states. Usman Abdullahi Shehu tells us more.
Food items that include rice, maize, sorghum and millet, among others, have witnessed significant increase in price recently in the country. But the customers and suppliers are beginning to have a sigh of relief as the prices of such commodities have begun to fall in the open market. A visit to Birnin Kebbi Central Market, grain sellers confirmed that the prices of grains are reducing at the local markets. A bag of local rice was sold just last week about 50,000 naira. It's now sold at 42,000 naira. A bag of sorghum and millet was sold at 60,000 naira. It is now 54,000 naira. Similarly, maize that was sold last week at 59,000 naira now dropped to 54,000 naira.
I think the hike in prices of food commodities has direct bearing with many companies that we have here who usually buy the food items we produce in large quantities, especially rice. And we were told that most of these companies have limited their purchase for the price to stabilize. Myself, I went to many communities' grains market over the week. Yes, the grains prices have started dropping.
The price is really telling both on the customers, on the people selling, because they don't really have the patronage they used to have before, and even customers that want to buy.
But the consumers and suppliers attributed the decrease in price of the commodities to the recent federal government policy to stop exportation of food items out of the country. In Birnin Kebbi, Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
Now, joining me in the studio to talk more on this development is the National Coordinator, Maize Association of Nigeria, Joseph Bamidele. You're welcome to the Network News.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, there are allegations that people are hoarding food items, especially maize. How true is this?
Once again, thank you. Yes. Normally, when there is a hike in price, people will try to hold the grains to make sure the price continue to go up. But now, no one wants to lose his money. With the announcement of the federal government that they will release grains, and now that we are going to dry season farming, most of the hoarders, if I may use that word, are now bringing out the grains. Secondly, there are no foreigners don't come like before because the borders are closed to them, for them. So the issue of hoarding is just it was momentary, but now everyone is trying to open up his shops, and with the steps the federal government have taken by going out where they have intelligence reports of anyone or group of people holding this commodity, then it's yielding fantastic report, and kudos to the federal government.
All right. Now we are witnessing a drop in the prices. But what do you think is responsible for this development?
The greatest responsibility, what is responsible was just that singular act of announcement by the federal government. That's just one. You see, they know that when the federal government releases from the strategic reserve, automatically the grains will flood the market, and those who are probably hoarding it, keeping it, expecting the higher price, will bring them out. So now a lot of grains are coming out, and those who think you have bought it at a very cheaper rate, who wants to make the highest gain, have decided to bring them out. So that is one of the greatest reasons. Foreigners are no longer coming. The border in Nigeria has been closed, and Cameroon exit has been closed too. So all these grains are right here in the country.
All right. With this new development of reduction in prices of grains, how do we sustain the tempo?
One of the greatest methods will be to sustain the tackling of the insecurity. We thank the federal government, so far so good. Let them sustain the tempo, or if there is need to increase the tempo of the security. You find out the farmers will be willing to go to the farm. There will be a lot of productions, and scientists too will bring out a lot of varieties and productions, value chain of the maize. We continue, we have it. So we can do that. And if we get this thing right now, we can plant maize 3-4 times in a year, and we close the gap.
All right, just before we continue with our discussion, let's quickly go to Adamu, also from Taraba State. We will report that people there also are heaving a sigh of relief as prices of grains and other staples are also dropping in the market.
Markets in Taraba State are bustling with activities as consumers smile home from the falling prices of food commodities. Maize, rice and other staples are now more affordable, providing much needed respite for families, as confirmed by traders in Iwari Grains Market.
The prices of grains today, it has come down normally compared to the previous week that we are buying the grains. The grains as of last week, the price of grains was 50,000, 52, 53. But as of today, the price of maize now is 38, 40,000 naira highest. Cassava today is 22,000, 22,500. And upper wheat they are selling 27,000, 28,000 naira. The white beans they are selling is around 90,000, 85,000 naira. But today the white bean is around 65, 70,000 naira highest. The granite was around 80 something, 90,000 too. But today they are selling is 70,000, 75. The unpeeled rice, the unpeeled one, the price of it is 40,000 naira, 38 per bar. But today, the highest price is 30,000 naira.
So what do you think is responsible for this fall in prices?
It's the statement of the government regarding the food market, that the government will take action. That is one. And two, some of the states close their boundaries. Nobody is taking in foodstuffs or carrying out foodstuffs to other states. So that is why some companies stop buying. And as we purchase goods, we are taking to some companies and they are closed. So the buyers are not much in the market. That is why the price come down.
Consumers who visited the market to make purchases thanked government for the policy direction that impacted the market instantly.
Compared to the last time, I would say it has gone down. But just that what I was expecting, because what I was told before coming, I saw a different thing.
Hope is all we have in this country, and we pray that better days are ahead of us.
As government continue to make effort to stabilize prices in the market, ensuring safety for the investments in the market and also the masses that buy and fit themselves, it is expected that very soon the hard conditions of the Nigerian economy will be on a stable mood. From the Iware Grains Market in Ardokola local government area, Taraba State, Ado Adamu also, NTA News.
Many thanks, Ado Adamu also, for that report. Now let's go back to Joseph Bamidele here in the studio. Now, how do we strike a balance? Some states are witnessing, a drop in prices of commodities, but they are still experiencing low patronage.
It's just a question of time. You can see we just need collaboration between all the stakeholders. Let the states, the farmers, the producers, the buyers. As this is just the beginning. In the next few weeks, you will find out that all these things will balance. And once again, we just want the government to continue with this policy by proper monitoring of these grains markets and these grain merchants, intelligent gathering from virtually all those people, then you find out we will now be able to balance this thing. Some people are still not praying for this thing to come down. But once the government maintain their stand on this and maintain this insecurity, and you find out we'll get this thing, we'll get it done.
Okay, there was a time when subsistence farming played a major role in boosting food security. How do we go back there?
Now, one of these, our fathers use hoes and hands. We can maintain, we can get this thing, the subsistence farming, we can improve on it by making the farmers being in clusters, in groups. There are farmers associations. Government should just encourage mechanized farming. When we have enough mechanized equipment, the drudging in farming that drives away the young ones out of farming, we encourage them. And this thing, you and I will be able, even after the work in the office, we just go and inspect what is happening. So it is just collaboration. Some states are buying tractors now, which is fantastic. We thank the federal government and we encourage other state government to do same, so that there will be synergy between the state, the local government. If each local government has 10, 15, 20 tractors distributed to the farmers, oh goodness, We have this thing in and the subsistence farming, which accounts for about 85% of our food production. We pick up, and we wouldn't have this issue of high cost of price of commodity, particularly the grains.
All right, many thanks. Joseph Bamidele, the National Coordinator, Maize Association of Nigeria, for your input on the network news.
Thank you for having me.
Now let's talk weather. The Nigeria Meteorological Agency (NIMET) has released predictions on the weather outlook for the year. The prediction unveiled by the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development indicates that the 2024 rainy season will commence early. Musababa Aliu reports.
The 2024 onset of rains is predicted to be delayed in some parts of the country, especially the north-central states of the country.
That was the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, explaining the content of the 2024 seasonal prediction compiled by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency. The prediction indicates that rainy season of 2024 will commence in the month of March and April in the coastal areas and states in the south-south region. The onset of the season in the northern states, especially in Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, Kano, Katsina, Jigawa, Yobe and Borno, is expected to start in the month of June and July. It is also predicted that the year 2024 annual rainfall volume for the northeast will be about 418 millimeters and 3,000 millimeters in the south-south region.
However, other parts of the country are likely to observe normal to above normal annual rainfall amounts.
After this event, NEMA will be bringing together technical experts from NIMET and other relevant agencies to analyze the disaster risk implications of the seasonal climate prediction.
In the area of aviation, pilots are advised to strictly comply with NIMET's weather predictions and advisories to avoid unforeseen eventualities. Relevant stakeholders in weather management, including legislators, emphasize the need to acquaint rural farmers on the predictions.
By the year 2030, which of course will be the date, the deadline for stopping a gas flaring, we maintain it so that for us in the Niger Delta, we continue to enjoy a clean environment.
And I'm embarking on that struggle to ensure that other oil companies, in collaboration with the NNPC, they are going to end gas flaring.
The prediction documents also cover weather-related diseases and anticipated high temperatures across the country. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu has directed immediate settlement of outstanding electricity bill due to the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company. The president's directive follows the reconciliation of accounts between the State House Management and AEDC. Contrary to the AEDC's initial claim of 923 million debts paid at Victoria in newspapers, the State House outstanding bill is 342,352,217, according to a letter by the management of AEDC to the State House Permanent Secretary dated February 14, 2024. Having reconciled the position to the satisfaction of both parties, the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, has given assurance that the debt will be paid to AEDC before the end of this week. Following the example of the presidency, the Chief of Staff also urged all the MDAs to reconcile their accounts with AEDC and pay their electricity bills. And President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of Hafsat Abubakar Bakari as the Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, NFIU, pending her confirmation by the Senate. Bakari is a lawyer and financial intelligence expert with years of experience in anti-money laundering, counter-terrorism financing, and countering proliferation financing. Before her appointment, she was the Deputy Director, Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, and was at different times the head of the General Services Unit, head of the Strategy and Reorientation Unit, and head of the Board Secretariat of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. You're watching the Network News. Reports for some messages. The news continues shortly.
Harmattan season brings a lot of germs, but Dettol with Germ Defense gives protection from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol sure.
Thanks for being there. Now to the power sector. The federal government has concluded plans to recapitalize and restructure the Bank of Agriculture to boost Nigeria's agricultural sector and achieve national food security. Apart from the reforms in the Bank of Agriculture, the federal government has also transferred operations of the Zungeru hydroelectric power plant to Penstock Limited. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
The decisions were made after the first meeting of the National Council on Privatization for the year 2024, as the move is expected to boost Nigeria's power generation capacity and contribute significantly to meeting the country's growing energy demands. The potential of the Bank of Industry to play a central role in achieving national food security, Vice President Kashim Shettima expressed concern about the bank's current practices, particularly its tendency to disburse unsustainable loans. He advocated the need to leverage technology and upgrade branch facilities to enable the bank function effectively and fulfill its role in supporting agricultural development. He further alluded to the potential of the Green Imperative project, proposing its integration with the Bank of Agriculture's restructuring plans. A committee led by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy is finalizing a report on the bank's recapitalization and restructuring, while key decisions have been made and further updates are expected soon. On the Zungeru hydroelectric power plant, the concession agreement was signed in December 2023, following Council's approval after the concessionaire fulfilled its obligation by paying 50% of the commencement fees. The Council also received updates on the report on the sale of Nitel property, as efforts are ongoing to evict illegal occupants and resolve the court case on the property, as well as the audit of NIPOS properties nationwide to assist the ongoing postal sector reform. On the Federal Mortgage Bank restructuring, the bank's management has submitted nominations to the Implementation Committee, which is expected to commence work soon. From the State House, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
Now talking Nigeria's prosperity, the federal government is creating more platforms to address the current economic challenges. Vice President Kashim Shettima said this on the Public Wealth Management Conference organized by the Ministry of Finance Incorporated, aimed at championing Nigeria's prosperity. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
Our low-hanging fruit to achieve this is for us to identify, enumerate, rationalize and optimize the investment assets of the federal government and ensure that these assets deliver maximum value and returns to our people.
Public wealth management, sustainability in finance, securing tomorrow's wealth today by integrating environmental, social and governance factors into investment decision for enduring success is what brought together stakeholders to champion the nation's economic prosperity.
Nigeria's public wealth is vast and diverse, encompassing everything from our infrastructure and real estate assets to our energy and financial assets. These assets are worth trillions of naira and are spread across every corner of our great nation, from the bustling cities to the rural countryside and beyond borders. However, for decades we have not had accurate records, a consolidated register of these assets scattered across hundreds of agencies. This has resulted in gross underutilization, mismanagement and loss of revenue running into trillions that could have addressed the welfare of Nigerians. The mandate and restructuring of the Ministry of Finance Incorporated MOFI represents a new chapter focused on harnessing our public wealth more strategically for growth and optimization.
We are open to very serious investments. We are building the type of structures that will fit Nigeria.
The conference also aims to promote teamwork towards shared goals and enhance coordination in public wealth management.
With the right policies, the collaboration, the cooperation of all, and a forward-looking approach, we can, we will, we are overcoming the current challenges.
Through transparency,
accountability, and sound governance practices, we aim to maximize returns, attract investment, and drive sustainable economic growth for Nigeria.
MOFI was established to be the shareholder of federal government in commercial enterprises, and its goal was to ensure that we have commercial returns on all business enterprises where federal government has interest in.
Let's stay consistent. Let's embrace sound corporate governance practices. Let's have strong commercial mindsets.
The platform is expected to provide a blueprint for driving efficiency and increasing the economic impact of public wealth across the country. In Abuja, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
And from the Red Chamber, Senate has resolved to conduct an investigation on how 30 trillion naira, including cumulative interest, was expended by the federal government on interventions in the manufacturing, power, aviation, banking and agricultural sectors. Also to be investigated are alleged invalid Forex transactions worth $2.4 billion. National Assembly correspondent Lamia Ali reports that these came up when lawmakers were debating recommendation of the Joint Committee that interacted with the National Economic Management Team on the state of the economy.
How to get Nigeria out of the current economic doldrums is central to the debate at the Senate, which lasted several hours. Lawmakers considered the recommendations contained in the report, which seeks economic stability in Nigeria. They shared perspectives on the way out.
We should find a way to harmonize these budgets to stop running in such a way that we can contain the quantum of money supply into the system.
We need to get alternative views, alternative opinions. We need to get input aside from those who are in government on how to manage this economy.
The government has to intervene and return a number of items to the prohibition list. And if they are found anywhere, they should be destroyed.
Within a short time, let us look for short measures quickly, so that the man outside will know that something good is being done. Those of us that are hoarding food items should please bring them out for the sake of humanity.
Senate is of the view that collaboration between the executive and legislature, as well as fiscal and monetary authorities, is required to mitigate the risks of hyperinflation and the crash of the naira.
The government should prioritize liquidating the 30 trillion ways and means obligation of the federal government through a quicker resolution mechanism.
The president of this country was a member of the parliament in 1992. And I'm sure he's looking up to these hallowed chambers for a solution to some of these problems.
It's not something that is happening in isolation to Nigeria. It's something that has international dimension. The world economy is not in its best shape as we speak.
These recommendations, when implemented, will immediately assist us to ameliorate the current scarcity of food and the high inflation in the country and make food available and affordable to all Nigerians.
5 bills passed first reading, among them bill that seeks the repeal and reenactment of the Foreign Exchange Control and Monitoring Act. Senate has urged the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria to enhance procedure for the conduct of examinations for foreign medical students.
We are not talking of those who have no certificates, sir. We are talking of those who complete their exam there, their program, and have their certificate in their hand.
Give these students opportunity to sit for these examinations and pass. But I will not support for us to bend the rules.
The Committee of Vice Chancellors to give those an opportunity to be absorbed in Nigerian University to complete their studies.
It also wants the council to start conducting exams in geopolitical zones to reduce costs on parents. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Now talking Forex, the Office of the National Security Advisor (NTA) is collaborating with the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) to check speculative activities in the foreign exchange market. Statement by Head Strategic Communication, Office of the National Security Advisor Sakari Mijinyawa indicates that recent intelligence reports have highlighted continued illicit activities within the Nigerian foreign exchange market despite several bank efforts to stabilize it. To this end, the NTA and CBN are embarking on a collaborative approach to tackle these infractions. The partnership will involve a coordinated effort with key law enforcement agencies, including the Nigeria Police Force and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the Nigeria Customs Service and the Nigeria Financial Intelligence Unit. The statement says the alliance is to sanitize and ensure a stable and transparent foreign exchange market, fostering investor confidence and advancing the nation's economic well-being. Now let's join Musa Obaka for the business news segment. Musa.
And let's bring you up to speed with the business development. The National Association of Road Transport Owners, NATO, has suspended its nationwide strike following intervention by the Minister of State Petroleum Resources Oil. Leader Samson reports that Henneke Lokpebiri brokered the peace among NATO and marketers in Abuja.
To Nigerians that after, consultation with all stakeholders, we have come to the conclusion that the strike will be called off, or had been called off. You see the president of NATO here. We also have other stakeholders that are here. All the issues they raised have been addressed, and I've also given commitment on behalf of government that going forward, whatever government is expected to do will be done.
Our agitation is as regards to the freight rate, for the transportation of the fuel. In any case, you have to transport the fuel to the station before you sell it. So if the amount that is paid is not adequate to move the product to the station, you will not find the product to the station. But there has been some improvement.
And as much as we understand the issue of NATO, but we don't want Nigeria to continue to suffer, because the Nigerians have already sacrificed more because of the circumstances of the global economic downturn. So they agreed now, to continue negotiations. Some of them already agreed at a rate.
And out of stocks, equities market closed Tuesday. Trading session negative, extended bearish posture to second day of the week. The oil share index shed 1.3% to close at 101,060.67 basis point. A total of 256 million shares in 8,783 deals, corresponding to a market value of 6.6 billion naira were traded. Today's data shows 6% decline in volume, 11% decline in turnover, and 9% decline in deals. Market capitalization declined to 55.3 trillion naira. Transcorp, UBA, and Fidelity Bank end the session as top traded stocks. That's it. The news continues with Ajay.
Many thanks, Musa, and nice doing business with you. Moving on, President Bola Tinubu congratulates His Royal Majesty Oba Kamarudin Ishola Animasha the Oloja of Ekpeland on the 24th anniversary of his ascension to the throne. The President celebrates the revered monarch and Vice Chairman of Lagos State Council of Abbas and Chiefs on the momentous occasion, extolling his strength of will for pursuing peace and development in his domain and the entire state. The President wishes him good health, strength, more wisdom, and many more prosperous years on the throne. Now, time now to join Michael in Lagos to keep us up to speed. Okay, I beg your pardon. Adeola, take it up from here.
Adeola, good to have you join us in Lagos. A roadmap for circular economy in Nigeria to address waste management and recycling process for a safer environment will soon be made public. Bolaji Akim reports that this was revealed by the Minister of Environment, Balarabe Abbas-Lawal, in Lagos.
The Federal Ministry of Environment and other stakeholders in the sector believe that with effective waste recycling process, the country with a population of 217 million people can take advantage of every opportunity provided by circular economy. This was the focal point at the review session, where action plans were presented to explore opportunities of the circular economy in water, industry, construction and mining. The Minister of Environment represented said synergy with the private sector will facilitate this move.
For Nigeria to transit successfully from linear economy to circular economy, we have to develop a roadmap so that it will guide our movement, our transition without injuring the existing businesses on ground. We have developed that roadmap in 2023. The stakeholder adopted it. It covered 3 sectors. It covered waste sector, agricultural food system, and energy sector.
Implementation of this strategy, stakeholders say, will also provide workable solutions to environmental challenges, create job opportunities, and ensure economic prosperity.
The United Nations Environmental Programme has calculated that for the continent of Africa, there's a $3 trillion industry that can be tapped into with circular economy prospects. There are whole reports written about this.
Lagos will generate a lot of organic waste, probably about 60% organic waste. We want to, rather than burying that in the landfill where it's going to result in production of methane, that is one of the primary greenhouse gases that contributing to global warming. We want to divert this organic waste away from the landfill, use it to produce compost and biogas.
This workshop is a follow-up to a series of engagements by the Federal Ministry of Environment, where blueprints for energy, waste management and agri-sector were developed. In Lagos, Bolaji Akim, NTA News.
Addressing identity theft and providing adequate data to complement the present administration's 8-point agenda at addressing the nation's socio-economic challenges is the focus of a leadership training of the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC. The Director General Abisoye Odushote stated this at the opening of a 5-day retreat for management of the Commission in Lagos.
Our considerations for making our decisions align with our personal values.
This meeting is aimed at equipping management staff of the Commission with the necessary tools to meeting its 5-point agenda on strategy development and implementation, which is in line with its mandate of ensuring increased enrollment and sustaining inclusivity using National Identity Number NIN as foundational data for identification. Director General of the Commission noted the progress already achieved with over 104 million Nigerians, both in the diaspora and within the country, successfully registered, adding that the Commission is designing a platform on making the process seamless to eliminate bottlenecks.
The reason why we have set this portal up is to ensure that you're able to go online and do your modification yourself. So it's called a self-service locally. There's a pre-enrollment service that would also come up very soon. So all you do is enroll, pre-enroll online, input all your information, and then you just walk in to do your biometric capturing at the centers. So give or take, that pre-enrollment should be ready before the end of March.
Bridging the gap between the government and the citizenry by providing access to services through the issuance of NIN is key objective of the Commission to integrate data collection process and ensure individuals' information are secured and protected.
And that's all from Lagos. The news will continue with Olajide in Abuja after this break. Please stay with us.
Many thanks for being there. Beneficiaries of the newly acquired office complex of the Federal Institute of Industrial Research, Oshodi, Firo, in the Southeast Zone have expressed desire to put their potentials into use for self-reliance as the agency boasts of creating 50 million jobs for Nigerian youths in 2 years. Chair Godwaro reports.
We have very fertile land for agriculture. So with this, most small-scale agriculturists will now move into mechanized farming.
This institute is going to help all and sundry in Southeast in the area of research and development in food security and food sustainability.
Federal Institute of Industrial Research, Oshodi, is a federal government agency
with the mandate of researching and processing food crops in exportable quantities for both local consumption and international markets. Commissioning the complex, the Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Uche Nnaji, charged Nigerian youths to embrace innovation and technology, as these are the hubs for future potential developments of the nation.
Nigeria's economic prosperity hinges on harnessing our abundant indigenous talents and raw materials to drive technological innovation. Our nation is blessed with diverse skills and natural resources across all 6 geopolitical zones.
Director General of the agency, Dr. Jumai Adamu, expressed hope that with a new complex housing, a standard laboratory, computer room, conference room, staff offices, and other ancillaries, the Southeast will become a hub for technological innovation.
As one of the leading research institutes in Nigeria, we are resolute to be at the forefront of the fight against the dire evils of poverty, insecurity, and unemployment. As such, it is imperative to provide and also put in place the necessary infrastructures.
Goodwill messages came from sister agencies and key players in innovation, science, research, and technology. In Enugu, Chiegono Aro, NTA News.
The first session of Association of National Accountants of Nigeria, ANAN 2024 Mandatory Continuing Professional Development MCPD program has kicked off in Lokoja, the Kogi state capital. Correspondent Ojonugwa Atar reports that members from all 36 states of the country are participating.
The theme of the opening session, Technology Innovation in Accounting and Internal Control, aims to drive innovation and foster professional networking nationwide amidst the digital revolution in the accounting and business sectors. Dr. James Ekerare Neminebo, President and Chairman of ANAN, sees the theme as timely, given the ongoing digital transformations affecting both accounting practices and livelihoods.
As the trends change, so we meet our members with the changing times. This is the first of 2024. We have come to Kogi. Once you are an ANAN member, every year, you attend this refresher course that brings you up to speed with the growing trend of things.
Kogi State Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo, in a message, encouraged ANAN members to devise policies that can aid in revitalizing the economy for the betterment of Nigerians.
This gathering represents a convergence of minds where we explore the intersection of technology, finance, and governance.
Participants at the event reiterated the core values of the association, focusing on enhancing professionalism, leadership, accountability, and integrity.
True. I'm expecting to do better if I get back to my establishment.
And with what we've seen on ground now, I think we have gone far higher than that to make sure the accounting profession is repositioned for better productivity.
The session intends to delve into issues surrounding internal control as a means of managing risks and minimizing the livelihood of organizational failures in achieving goals and objectives. Ojonugwa Ata, NTA News.
And from the Green Chambers, in the quest for solutions to security challenges, the House of Representatives has passed the bill to establish state police for second reading. The bill, sponsored by Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu and 14 other lawmakers, generated intense debate on the floor of the House, as some lawmakers argue that state police aligns with the principles of federalism, while others expressed fears of abuse. National Assembly correspondent Mitairi Ikwen tells us more.
Like a precursor, the House began plenary adopting motions on insecurity.
On 18th February 2024, a gang of unknown gunmen invaded the Nasarawa community in Zulbi local government in Zamfara state, leading to killing and destruction of lives and properties. Urged the Inspector General of Police to set up a tactical team that will unveil the mystery behind this attack.
Lawmakers argue that the spate of insecurity justifies the bill for state police, which passed second reading.
Amending the Constitution to allow state policing is not only a step towards true federalism, but also an acknowledgement of the diverse security challenges.
We are in need of, let me say, of state police.
Many states, Mr. Speaker, do not even qualify to be states as it's today economically.
Let's tell ourselves the truth. Policing is capital intensive.
We may not have 100% benefit, but I bet you we will have peace, all this banditry and so on, because we know who is who in our community. We know.
Those in support of this say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for establishing the National Polytechnic Commission to supervise and regulate polytechnics also scaled second reading.
The establishment of the commission will also serve to dismantle one of the core indices of discrimination.
Other infrastructure motions were adopted.
Urge the Federal Road Maintenance Agency FEMA to commence rehabilitation work on Bissau, Shira, Gia, Goram-Burnukud Road in Bauchi and Jigawa State. Mandate the Committee on Power to conduct a comprehensive investigation into the NNPC Nigerian Ajipoye Company joint venture for Independent Power Plant in Delta State.
To improve food security, the House calls for seamless distribution of grains across the country.
To mandate the Committee on Agriculture to investigate the privatization or concession of 22 out of 33 government silos for grain storage.
Lawmakers also advocate subsidy on agriculture to boost food security. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
And up next is the weather forecast.
There, residents of Lagos State and environs woke up to heavy downpour from thunderstorm cells as shown in the satellite imagery. This event resulted to cases of flash flooding in some parts of the metropolis. For Wednesday, there are still prospects of isolated thunderstorms across the stretch of the coast, parts of Kogi, some parts of Osun, Oyo, Ondo, Ekiti, Edo, and Enugu State during the late afternoon and evening hours. We expect the Federal Capital Territory and Niger State to experience slight dust haze, while the rest of the northern region should be hazy with lots of sunny spells. Please stand by for the Air Quality Index. I am Joyce Ogunleye, and I will see you again.
And that's it on the Network News. Many thanks for being a part of it. I am Olajide Bello.